Hi, so here in America, everything's about time, right? So cooking takes too long, and we just want to buy our food frozen and put that little container with all of the yummy description in the microwave, and then further kill the food because it's fast, and then we can eat it and it tastes good, and we know it's not doing a whole lot for us. It's actually hurting us. Hey, I'm single, I've got a busy life, a full-time job, lots of hobbies, and I know what that means. So what I did with this video, the recipe itself says it takes 3.5 hours. And so over the period of just a Sunday, I've gotten a lot of other stuff done, and I've gotten a beautiful meal together too. And that's what this particular demonstration is all about, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you'll try it. Okay, so here we are, and we've got the garbanzo beans on. They've been soaking overnight. Notice the time, and they've been soaking overnight. Now, why bother with soaking your beans? Because they're fresher. When you buy beans that are canned, they've been processed, they've been sitting around a long time. You know, folks, they're really not fresh, are they? Right. Okay, you didn't think you'd argue with me. So just put them in some water to soak at least overnight. The recipe says 36 to 48 hours is better, but we're going to boil them now. So, and you know, any ethnic store, talking to you folks in the U.S., is a good source for garbanzo beans, chickpeas, widely used in all cuisines, so should not be a problem. And these little lovelies are now going to boil and then simmer for 2 hours. Now in the meantime, I've got laundry to do, I've got a shoe rack to build, and I'm just going to get all my Sunday stuff done while this is cooking. See you later. Okay, so I have gathered the ingredients, and hooray, today I actually have the banana pepper. I usually use a jalapeno, but I went to the farmer's market, so I've got farmer's market fresh zucchini, a nice big onion. I'm going to use a big one this time. I'm going to use a sweet potato instead of regular potato just because it's better for my constitution. Himalayan salt, I buy the ghee, I told you that, and then the various spices. So going over here to the cumin, the nice garbanzo beans, or chickpeas as you call them. They're all steaming and cooked. And how do we know they're cooked? Well, yeah, 2 hours by the book, but you take one and you see how easily it crushes in your finger, and so you know that that's ready. Gotta eat that one. Okay, so we're gonna measure the spices now and get that started. The spices, which I measured in a cup, are now all in the 3 tablespoons of ghee, everything except the mustard seeds. And one of the things that gives this particular dish a flavor that's so familiar to Americans is the little bit pinch of clove and pinch of cinnamon. That gives it a nice warming flavor. And then the onions are sliced for this recipe, so we're going to bring this nice spice mixture to a nice brown consistency and kind of gravy look. Add in the black mustard seeds, and then just a little update on the veggies. I forgot to mention our beautiful green pepper, which of course we seed. And then since it's calling for the small cut zucchini, what I do is I take the zucchini and I kind of quarter it lengthwise, and then I chop that, so that kind of expedites the small pieces. Haven't done the banana pepper yet, but I'm kind of sensitive, so I wear plastic gloves or just hold it with you know, maybe some saran wrap around my hands when I chop that up. Okay, and looks like the mustard seeds may be popping really soon. And so the next thing that will go in is the onions. The onions are in the ghee now. I'm going to turn the heat down just a tad, but we don't mind it. Again, I mentioned this in another whole video, but ghee has a very high smoke point, so there's a lot of health benefits to ghee because we've taken out the you know, the butter fat. It's clarified. But that gives it a really high smoke point. The only other oil that has an equally high smoke point is peanut oil for this kind of frying. So ghee is just incredibly beneficial. And I'm going to continue chopping these vegetables while the onions are cooking. So, another word on chopping techniques. You know, you can use a food processor for some of these, but you're making such a distinct batch, it's not worth the time, and I think my knives need to be sharpened. But anyway, I slice through the skin of I usually do it flesh side down and skin side up, and slice this with a regular paring knife. And now I'm going to go at it with my bigger butcher block knife, and really just chop this up very finely through repetition, and keep your fingers out of the way. So now we have added the peppers, the banana pepper and the green pepper, into the onions, which you see are soft and cooking together. And we need to cook this until it's really quite brown. I did use the banana pepper this time, and you know, already my eyes are stinging, so I used an amount accordingly to my taste. You may like it hotter, so up to you. So the next step will be to let this brown, and then we'll add the zucchini. All right, here we are with the zucchini in now, and these don't really need to cook that long. We are crushing some garbanzos. We just take a tablespoon, crush them together like that, adding this to the mixture, and then we're going to add this all to a Dutch oven. So this is at this point, the zucchini are frying for just a matter of texture, just to get them to kind of initially say hello and blend with all of the other vegetables, and just get a little edge on them in terms of frying. Now, it's just depending on the consistency of your vegetables, the freshness or whatever. You might need to add water at this point. I didn't. So we are now going to add this into the Dutch oven. And as you see, I've got the brown rice boiling. Now, brown rice, basmati rice, there's a whole conversation about that. I'm opting for brown rice. And I started to cook my potato. As I mentioned, I'm using a sweet potato for this time. And we will not add the potato till the very end, because that's going to cook. That cooks really fast, and we don't want it mushy. Our lovely one-pot meal in the making. We've added some boiling water. We've added the garbanzos, and now we're going to cook it to a stew, just alternating covering it and not covering it. Now, one hint is when you have a busy day, is to make this in advance. Maybe make it in the morning, put it in your slow cooker during the day, and it's ready for dinner when you come home. If you do that, reduce your water content, because a slow cooker will not evaporate. The consistency of this will evaporate. So what I want to achieve is a nice gravy consistency, everything really cooked and melded together. And just my sales pitches, I just love Le Creuset. I've had this pot forever, and yeah, I broke the handle. And I use this for everything, but it's rated very highly because of the enamel, so for leakage or anything. Plus, it just has that heaviness that really does, it absorbs the heat and really holds it steady. So we will be checking on this, alternating opening it, closing it, making sure that the water stays at the right consistency, adding some if we need some more liquid. So everything's cooking, and we got some time here, but one of the things I talked to you about was making love to the food and chanting and getting good thoughts in it. So I've been chanting a bit. These are some very special slokas that I learned from Yogini Amma Bannajareddy as part of a class. So I am just going to sing to the food, and please listen along. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahanao Avatu, Sahanao Bunatu, Sahaviram Karvasi Vahai, Tejasvina Vaditamastu, Ma Vidvisha Vahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shubham Karoti Kalyanam Arogyam Dhana Sampada
Satrubudi Vinasaya Deepa Jyoti Namostute. Om Bhurбhuvah Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasi Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Sarvamangala Mangalye Shiva Sardaka Sadike Sarani Triambake Gari Narani Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay, good news, everything's ready on schedule. Actually, these sweet potatoes add a nice pop of color to the stew as opposed to the regular potatoes. I know it'll change the flavor a bit, but hey, you know, sometimes a little experimentation's okay. So this is really ready to go. I could just kind of leave it to melt a little bit longer, but maybe that'll be when I have seconds. So my meal is ready. Brown rice with the 1 pot garbanzo beans and wonderful vegetables. Now, a little bit of yogurt, Rita on the side, or if you want a little punch of other flavor, you can try the one of the chutneys that you know suits your taste. So congratulations, we've made our garbanzo bean stew. Himalayan Mountain Cookery is a paperback book. It's available on Amazon.com, and used copies are available for less than $1, so I highly recommend that you order it and enjoy it as much as I have.